So on Tuesday, the presidents of Harvard, UPenn, and MIT were all hauled before Congress to answer for why there has been such shocking and rampant anti-Semitism on their campuses. And I think my biggest takeaway from this is that it's shocking to see that these schools are suddenly hiding behind the valence of free speech and claiming that this is happening because they value free speech so much on their campus, where historically that's just simply not been true. According to a campus free speech ranking done by the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, Harvard is actually dead last in campus free speech across the country. They actually got a negative score out of a possible 100, but they rounded it up to 0 to be generous to the university. So to see Dr. Claudine Gay suddenly suggesting that it's, quote, the foundation of Harvard's campus is absolutely untrue. Historically, and I think actually that is precisely why anti-Semitism has exploded so much on these campuses. When competing viewpoints can't meet in civil discourse and dialogue on campus, then they actually go underground and they fester and they become more extreme, and then all of a sudden they come out the other end and you have Harvard students that are coming out in favor of Hamas. And I think that these university presidents are right to champion free speech, and if they had historically done so more passionately and actually fostered conversations where people could talk about even the most divisive issues on campus, then they wouldn't be in a position where these campus radicals are exploding out into the open as soon as there's any sort of societal unrest. Of course, every university and every university president should be a champion of free speech. That's an ideal that we should strive towards. But suddenly hiding behind it or claiming that it's been there in the past when it has in fact not is absolutely hypocritical and frankly should be called out. You know, this is the first time that students have actually provoked their administrators and put them in a hard place. Historically, student protesters would be backed up by their school pretty much without fail, whether it was coming out in favor of BLM or against the Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal or protesting the election of Donald Trump, and consistently classes would be canceled, administrators would come out and march with them. And finally, they're actually finding a new edgy cause, unfortunately, in the Israel-Palestine conflict. And you know, these schools and these campuses are so radical that in order to hit that next frontier of actually being transgressive, students have stooped to the point where they're championing the rape and murder and torture of innocent civilians. So I think that this is a testament not only to how much free speech is withered on campus, but how institutional stupidity has really flourished in its place and unfortunately landed us in a position where students at even our most elite schools are championing the most reprehensible causes.